Blog.
Welcome to Love Life Heart Confessions with intuitive heart healer, the Love Guru, Blaire Allison. Blaire can be found on the web at loveguru.net and datingtipsfordudes.com. And now your host, Blaire Allison.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It's Blaire, the Love Guru. And I'm so excited to be here. I look forward to this show every single week, and I look forward to being with you every week. And I know we don't talk one-on-one here, but I just feel like you guys are my friends, and I'm talking personally to each one of you, and it's just so much fun. I have so much fun with this. So first off, I want to just thank everybody who has friended me on Blog Talk Radio, and if you haven't yet, become my friend on there. And also, thank you for clicking the favorite button for my show also. And if you're right there, if you can please click that. The reason behind it is, well, number one, it makes me feel good when you do that, and I send love and blessings your way when you do. But also it reminds you of the show each week so you could catch it live. It also reminds you of the topic so you know what's going on. And I have some shows favorited on my end, and it's just always fun to get so I know what's going on. So you'll be reminded of Love Life Heart Confessions each week. So for those of you who are new to the show, let me give you my website so you know where to reach me off the air. For women, it's loveguru.net. That's LOVEGURU.net. And for guys, it's datingtipsfordudes.com. I'm on Facebook and Twitter, and my username on both of those is LoveGuruBlaire. Blaire is spelled with an E at the end. And I'm happy to connect with you guys there, too. I hang out online all day long, and it's so much fun. That's fun also. So did you listen to last week's show? That was a really good show. It was called Single, Lonely, and Hating It. It was actually the second show I did on Single, Lonely, and Hating It. Last week's show, I was giving advice, tips, how to not be single, lonely, and hating it. And I also was taking your calls as far as whatever was happening in your love life. And we had an interesting caller there that I definitely would go back and, listen to the advice that I gave her. And so tune into that, okay? So this week we have a really good show. And something's acting a little funny with my switchboard here. And we'll just go with it, but I couldn't see the callers. We have a bunch of callers online, and I'd just like to give a shout-out to you guys. That's awesome for calling in so soon. I know you guys are calling in to get some readings. I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to you today because we have a guest on the show, but you could always hang on and listen, and in 2 weeks I'm going to be doing a show that I am going to be taking calls and answering your questions about your love life. If you do need help immediately, you can't wait the 2 weeks, go to my website, loveguru.net, and click on Heart Healer. And come have an intuitive heart healing session with me or a love attracting session with me. I'll be able to focus on you and only you for 1 hour. So those are a couple announcements. Today, we have a really interesting guest, a really brave guest, and I'm happy that he's on to share his story. He's a 55-year-old man. He's never been married. He lives in New York, and he has given up on love. He says it's too frustrating and too much pain to be out there, be single, and looking, and he feels that he has a better relationship with women now that he's not looking to hook up with them. So we're going to bring him on. Actually, before we do that, I just wanted to make I wanted to let you know about some events that I have going on. If you are in the New Jersey area, in northern New Jersey, tomorrow evening for women only, I'm doing my Circle of Love group, which is a women's love and dating and relationship group. And we meet for an hour and a half, and we'll talk about what's going on in your love life, and I'll give you guidance, and we all learn from one another, and we all support one another, and it's really wonderful. So that's happening tomorrow in Lyndhurst, New Jersey at Mystical World. You could just look it up. You would register with them. That's Mystical World in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. And also in 2 weeks at that same location, I'm doing a workshop on a Saturday. It's called Clear and Cleanse Your Love Life. And that is so key. That is like, I think, is that my first step? Yeah, I feel like it's either the first or second step in attracting love. I have my foundational course, which is Prepare Yourself for Love. And for those of you who have gone through that workshop or have experienced the audio program on my website, that is a very powerful manifestation program. But what you need to pair that up with is clearing and cleansing your love life. And really what that is clearing out the gunk. A lot of people have relationship gunk that they carry around with them. That's the baggage that everyone talks about. Fears, anger, sadness, whatever you carry around from past relationships, you bring that into future. So if you are carrying around that stuff with you, you're not able to manifest a truly wonderful partner. You're not able to get into a truly wonderful relationship unless you clear and cleanse your love life. So that's what I'm teaching in 2 weeks. If you're not in New Jersey, if you're not in the New York area, go to my website and you'll see I have an audio that you could download on there and a written exercise about clearing and cleansing your love life. So you'll find that at loveguru.net. And also go check out Travel Girl Magazine. I'm a contributing writer to that magazine. And this month, summer 2009, I'm sharing with you a dating guide for a down economy. And that's a really great topic about finding a prosperity-minded partner. And hey, listen, if you can't find that magazine or maybe you don't want to go get it or whatever, go to my website and click on Writer. And you could click on that article and you could read it online. I have it in a PDF file. Thanks to one of my Facebook friends, he scanned in the article for me, so that was awesome. Thank you, John. I'll give you a shout out on the air. So, all right, we're ready to get to today's guest. His name is Mike, and I wanted to welcome you. Mike, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, welcome. So, let me just give some background. Mike is 55. He lives in the city, and you've never been married, right?
Yeah.
Now, okay, so...
I've never asked anybody either, so...
Okay, so never proposed either.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So let's talk about this. Have you ever been, besides proposing, have you ever been in a long relationship that maybe you've been close to getting married?
Yeah, once I dated somebody, and it wasn't, it was one of those, like I told you before, I kind of always... I'd see somebody that I felt special about, and it would have nothing to do with the way they looked or, how beautiful they were. They were beautiful to me. A lot of people could say, oh, this girl's pretty, then that, don't worry about her. And I guess that's why it hurt that, when they, I don't even know if rejected would be the right word, but when it, when things didn't turn out good, I guess in a way rejected. And then it would be hurtful, because it wasn't a matter of just asking a girl out because she was pretty, and if she said no, just go, oh, well, there's plenty of other cute girls out there. And, maybe that would have been a better way to be. But then one day I dated some girl from work who wasn't seeing anybody, and she was kind of cute and everything. And we were really just more friends, and we dated for at least 5 years, if not more. And then after a while, I just felt that I'm wasting her time and wasting mine even too, and so I broke it off with her, and she understood, Okay,
we're going to come back to that. I want to kind of back this up a little bit because you mentioned a bunch of things. So let's talk about you as far as like growing up and like your dating philosophy, because from what I'm understanding of what we had talked about before the show, and now we're going to talk about it here, but so when you were growing up, it was never a thing of kind of chasing tail. That's the words that come to my mind. Like, you were never out there in, were you out in the bar scene or single stuff?
No, not at all. Yeah.
Okay. So what happened that, like, say, when you were younger, like, let's talk about teens, 20s, you weren't practicing asking girls out or attracted to women here or there? Like, what was going on?
Well, I guess actually it even started earlier, and that's why, in a way, too. I mean, it's kind of bad that I let things get to me at such an early age, because, you know, once you're 15, 16, 17 and all that, I mean, things aren't going to work out anyway. You're not going to be getting married. So why should that, you know, hurt you? But it does hurt, you know. And so
okay, wait. So you would see women when you were younger, and
I meant just, you know, in school or whatever, I would see somebody I was attracted to. And actually, in early ages of school, like in third grade, a lot of girls, I found out, I didn't even know that there were a lot of girls in the class that liked me. And so I was kind of like more of a playboy back then. And,
wait, but what you're saying, though, is like you would get hurt back then, so like you're thinking that this like kind of rejection hurt started back then, that you didn't?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, who's really thinking back then? I mean, I don't even remember really what was going on.
Well, that I remember. Yeah. I seem to remember things from early in my past better than I do things that happened yesterday. But
but what are you saying happened back then, or when you were younger, teenage, 20-year-old? Like, what was happening?
Oh, well,
you normally you're attracted to like a million people. You know, aren't you attracted to a million people back then?
No, you know, that's just it. I could see a girl that's pretty, and even say, oh, you know, beautiful girl, but it doesn't mean I'm going to pursue her, you know. And it was always, like I said, it was just something. More a special connection that I felt. And then a lot of times it was probably because of my own, I mean, for example, there was a girl in junior high school that I liked, and it took me about 2 years to even get up the nerve to let her know. I guess in a way she kind of found out anyway, because I wound up telling the whole school before her. And so by that time she had a boyfriend and everything else. So that's why in a way I can't really say it was rejection. You know, I was more just an amateur. And but it still hurt, you know. And even in high school, it might be a lot of the same kind of situation, where if I liked somebody, and then by the time I got around to even making my feelings known, I, you know, got shot down. And that's why, in a way, I was just telling somebody the other day when we were talking about that. And I said it's kind of like if love was a game like football or baseball. And here I am sitting on a bench, and I'm seeing all these other people failing at their relationships. And I'm telling, come on, coach, put me in the game. Come on, I know I could do it. And he's just ignoring me. And after a while, I just said, you know what? Because how long could you take that, you know? And so it's like I just felt I don't care anymore. You know, if the game of love is lost, it has nothing to do with me, because at least if I had a chance, you know, that's what hurts. I would have liked to have at least had the chance to have a chance. And then if I get shot down, I could say, okay, I was a jerk. I did this stupid. But I never even got a chance to get in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's pause for a second here. First off, everybody listening, we know that Mike's connection is bad as far as the phone goes. We were trying to work on that before the show. It didn't really work. So we're just bearing with if it's staticky over there or whatever, just to let you know that, like, he knows, I know, we all know, and we're just kind of dealing with it.
You can hear me okay, though?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, I just want to point out here, too, because I know that the audience gets a little feisty on me. That's okay. I can handle it. I'm a little feisty myself. But I am here to, and you are here, we're here to create this space for Mike to be able to share his story. Everybody has a story of what, you know, situations come up in their love lives. We all have our story. And the purpose of this show is for it to be a healing space. It's not a gossip show. It's a place for single people and people in relationships to come and for them to share the truth about their love life, because that is healing for them to share. It's healing for us to listen to, because we all have you know, everything that we notice in other people, you know, we're able to recognize that. We all have pieces. We're all one. Basically, we're all one, and we all have pieces of one another that we could, that are mirrored in others when we hear his story. So just listen. Just be a listener and hear his story and see how you could relate or see how your heart goes out to him or whatever the case is. And then over when we near the last 20 minutes of the show, I'm going to come in. You know, I'm the love guru. I'm an intuitive heart healer. And I'm going to offer my advice. But during the show, I'm going to just be an observer. I'm going to be a listener. I'm going to be an interviewer. So I just wanted to share that with you as far as what my role is, what your role is, what his role is, and just so we're all on the same page here, okay? So Mike, back to you.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is from an early age, you would not really go after good-looking girls, but it was like something, I guess, more magical. You know, like maybe we're talking about
definitely.
energy here.
Yeah.
Okay. But then when you would feel that magicalness, the magicalness, you still wouldn't really pursue it. You would have to like kind of tell everybody to get up. You know, it's you would be like a little bit nervous or shy to like say anything to her. And then by the time that it was when you finally got the nerve, which maybe took 2 years in the last situation, the person was already in a relationship, right?
Yeah, or like, you know, they would find out, and it would, I guess, be more of an embarrassment to them, and maybe they already were dating somebody, you know. Like I said, so it wasn't so much that I just got rejected, or even the idea that, say if I dated somebody and we went out and we just had a bad date, you know, because it wasn't even like that, you know, or even had a relationship where we just had, I know so many people who go out with guys and, oh, this guy's a creep and everything else like that, and they even give them second and third and fourth chances, and that blows my mind too, you know, that they could do that and that men get away with it, and, you know, and just, you know, so it's not only my pain, because I feel the pain of other people too, and just like on MySpace, I did a whole series of blogs for what my MySpace friends know. And from the beginning, I was doing a bunch of things like why I don't date, and it would be things like, you know, things you read in the newspaper every day. There was something just the other day where some guy.
Wait, let's not get off topic. Wait, I'm going to stop you because we have limited time.
Yeah.
We have limited time here, but like so at this young age, like if this is what started from a young age.
Yeah.
Don't you go home, because I think like when you're younger, like it's more of that innocence, and like aren't you going home and were you living with your mom, your dad, both of them?
Oh, sure, back then, yeah.
Okay, so your parents are married.
Well, yeah, back then they were.
Okay, but now they're divorced?
No, now they're dead. You know.
Okay, but like did they stay married?
Oh, not for about a good 2/3 or half of my life, maybe, or 1/3 of my life. They got separated early on and everything.
Okay, so back like how old were you when they got separated?
I guess about 14.
Okay, so at this age, which I guess is going on when you're around 14 or so or whatever, aren't you going home to like mommy and daddy and saying stuff like, aren't they asking you like who you have a crush on or this or that? I mean, this is kind of like the innocence of like growing up, and like aren't they like, isn't somebody giving you some kind of like dating advice?
Oh no, I never had that kind of relationship with my parents, you know. And
neither of them asked.
Oh no,
I feel like that's
no, I was never able to talk, you know. I never even told my mother I loved her, you know, because it was just that kind of a cold family. You know, there was no happy day moments.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So there's no one there, like no aunts, uncles, grandparents to be like, because you know what? I mean, I'm just thinking as far as like my upbringing, that was always asked. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what age it went back to, but I see how when I'm around little kids, I'm like, oh, who do you have a crush on? You know, I mean, that's just where my mindset is. So, yeah. I mean, I think, so like there was no one even as far as aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents as far as like what's going on with the ladies or something like that. No comments like that?
Not at all. No, No. Not
and
even
do you
with
have
friends.
any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, and they don't even ask,
Are they older than you?
No, all younger.
Okay, so maybe that's the difference. Okay. All right. So then you carry on through your life. You get to be older. So at what age? Okay, so let's talk about I guess maybe at what age do you get into your first relationship? How does that come about?
Like I said, I guess I was in my mid-20s, and there was a girl at work that was kind of nice, and I actually kind of started out off, I was in a way insulting her, little friendly insults, but flirty in a way. And then we made a date to go to a movie, and, even after that, I was deciding if it was the right thing to do, and she told me she was deciding the same thing, but we started dating anyway, and it was good, but we were just friends. There wasn't really anything romantic about it, and and we were just dating for a long time, just because, just the way things are, And
okay,
then
so
after a while, I just felt that I'm wasting her time, and she needs to be with somebody better.
Okay, right. This is the heated comment. Okay.
Yeah.
So. This was, you're talking about, you're either dating or you're friends. So, were you hooking up with her? What was going on? Because you said this was 5 years.
Oh, yeah. And, there was even a time that I was considering proposing to her. And then I realized, no, that's a crazy thing to do, And it wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't have been fair to either one of us. And,
Okay. So. Wait, so you guys were, hooking up, as in making out, having sex, so you guys were dating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you weren't just friends though. Why do you say that you were just friends?
Well, I mean, we were dating. It was supposed to be a romantic relationship, but I never really felt any kind of romance, and even after a while she said she felt the same way, which I could kind of tell, because I never really felt any passion from her. And, and...
But yet you guys are still sleeping together?
Yeah,
Okay.
Even that, we're talking about a long time ago. This is back in the 80s or something when we broke up.
Well, you were in your mid-20s, you're saying.
Yeah,
and you kind of hung out with her, dated, or whatever for 5 years. And that was it? That was the relationship, and then you closed up shop from there?
Well, yeah. That's not when I gave up. I just felt we needed to grow, and the best way of growing was to move on and better ourselves. Because I just felt that we were both in a rut, and to stay in the relationship that we were in, we'd just be getting nowhere and going nowhere, And
okay, so how many relationships have you had since that woman?
Not really anything, I met one girl and we made out one time, and that was pretty much it. And then even that one, I think I kind of, that's one case where I kind of blew it, because, I don't even think she liked me. I think she was looking for a place to stay or somebody to sponge off of, and maybe I picked up on that, and I said something to a friend, and that got her mad. So, and even that was a while ago. But,
okay.
Yeah, so like I said, it's not like I never really went out and, try to look for that many women and everything. And I have no, unlike that crazy guy that shot up the woman in the gym, I have no bitterness about it. I understand the situation. I know how I am. And like I said, it's not like I go out and try to hit on everything in the skirt. And, and if a woman doesn't like me, I could understand why. It's I need to get myself together also. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. There's a lot to take in here for me. So, okay. So this was happening in your 20s or so, and let's talk about your life now. You're 55.
Yeah.
And what is your life like as far as relationships, love? What are your thoughts on this topic? How do you look at love and women and relationships?
Well, I still believe in love and everything. There's just, I'm home right now, so it's not. I'm kind of just working from home. I take care of my next door neighbor who's 93 years old, and she could hardly walk and everything, and I don't get to go out much. I don't get to meet anybody, and I'm comfortable with that, and there's not much around in the neighborhood that's of dating quality, mainly because most of the girls are kind of young and everything. So, and once you're 55, everybody's pretty much too young. But yeah.
So what do you want for your love life now?
I don't know. I'm just, like I said, in some ways I'm comfortable in the situation. I like the idea that I could talk to women at any age and anything and talk about anything, and there's no hang up about sex involved. I'm not trying to get into their panties, so, I could talk to them as a friend, and I kind of enjoy that even more. And so, but I don't know. And I like the idea that I'm strong, unlike all these, another thing where you see in the papers where this teacher had an affair with his student or this governor is messing around with a hooker or anything else like that. I just kind of laugh when I read all these things because I'm thinking, hey, at least I trained myself or developed myself or however you want to put it, that I don't get into, like, stupid urges like that,
Okay. All right, we're gonna take a short break.
Sure.
We got to go to commercial here for a minute, but when we come back, I'm going to talk to Mike about sex, his sex life, and his sexual urges, and things along those lines. So stay with us, and we're going to go for a quick break.
Do you feel frustrated by the dating scene? Do you feel frustrated by the dating scene? You go out to meet men but never seem to find what you're looking for. Today I'm here to tell you why that happens. Quite simply, it's because you haven't taken the steps to prepare yourself for love. See, all these years you've been dating what I like to call the old way. You search the internet, you go to bars, you ask friends to match you up, you go to singles events. And when you go out, you're always on the lookout because you never know when he's going to show up. But instead of Mr. Wonderful showing up, you end up wondering where he is. The Prepare Yourself for Love program is a natural, effortless way that brings the one to you rather than you're going out and looking for him. Get the Prepare Yourself for Love program now by going to www.loveguru.net. Get the Prepare Yourself for Love program at www.loveguru.net so you can finally attract the love you are looking for. When you've prepared yourself for love, relationships come to you. There's no effort or hard work required.
Do you hate small talk? Think it's boring, a waste of time, and goes nowhere? Most singles don't realize that small talk actually gives you a lot of information. It can be fun, easy, and a great screening process to know for sure if a guy is right for you. Introducing the Get a Date Success Package. Included are 3 powerful audios. Learn how to find a date in 5 minutes or less with someone you actually connect with. The program is quick and to the point. You'll be taken through 4 steps that will tell you, without a doubt, if a person you are talking to has the qualities you're looking for. No more wasting your time talking to losers. Say goodbye to dead-end conversations. The Get a Date Success Package also includes Getting Guys, Flirting 101. You'll discover the power you have over men. Not in a bad way, but in a way to get them to come over and talk to you. Once you tap into this power, you'll be a master at the dating game. You'll also get the audio Uncovering 2 Levels of Small Talk for Better Connections. See, most singles do small talk wrong, and that's why they hate it. Stop forcing the relationship. Stop forcing the connection when he's really not right for you. Learn what to say and how to say it, and you'll end up loving small talk. Get these 3 eye-opening audios that will transform the way you meet and pick up men. Go to www.loveguru.net/getadate.html. That's www.loveguru.net/getadate.html. Are you a negative person and tend to put yourself down? You say to yourself, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough. Try harder, work harder. You know you should be confident and you want to love yourself, feel good, and be proud. But pretending to have high self-esteem just isn't working anymore. The Self-Confidence Giving It a Boost So You Can Get a Better Guy audios by Blaire Allison, the Love Guru, will help you do just that. Self-confidence is learned. And since you've learned to have low self-esteem, you can also learn how to have high self-esteem. This is a must because low self-esteem affects all areas of your life. It affects your happiness with life or unhappiness. How many men are attracted to you or not attracted to you, the types of guys you date, and the types of guys you can realistically get. The Self-Confidence audios cover 3 powerful healing techniques that will heal your heart. After you've mastered the healing techniques, you'll be taken through over 10 everyday confidence boosters. And this makes boosting your confidence easy and fun. You'll learn how to retrain your mind. Boost your confidence and feel better about yourself today. Get confidence at www.loveguru.net. Once again, www.loveguru.net.
Hey, welcome back. It's Blaire, the Love Guru, and you're listening to Love, Life, Heart Confessions. Today's show, we have a 55-year-old man who's never been married and has kind of given up on love. He thinks it's easier to be alone, that there's too much pain and frustration or too much pain and maybe hurt being out there. So that's who we're talking to today. I wanted to give you a heads up as far as what the show next week. Next week we're having a woman on who's in her, I think she's in her 40s, and she is dating in a relationship with this man who is in the spotlight. He's a pretty big musician, known guy in New York City. We're going to keep him anonymous. But he's really, really a big attraction in New York City. And she is a woman behind this man. And we're going to explore what it's like to be a woman behind the scenes. You know that saying, behind every great man is a great woman. You know, but what is that really like, and is she happy playing that role? And what about her life? Does she have things going on in her love life, in her regular life, or her business life? So we're going to explore that dynamic. That's next week, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then the week after that, we have a show coming up that is, I don't know if I remember the topic. It has something to do with being pulled in a relationship. Lots of times people talk about how they're drawn to somebody, and then they think because they're drawn to somebody that they are meant to be with him or meant to be with her forever, even though the relationship is maybe unhealthy. So we're going to talk about that. That's going to be a show, just me and you. It's an hour dedicated to that topic, and it's an hour dedicated to me taking your phone calls. So mark your calendar. You could call in. I'm taking your questions on that show. All right, so now we are back with Mike, and before we went to the break, he was talking about how he was never really out there chasing tail, asking girls out, maybe a little bit shy, and he would just wait. It didn't really matter to him if a woman was good-looking or cute or whatever. He wanted to feel that certain spark, that energy. But then when he did feel that the girl was either not interested or unavailable at the time when he worked up the nerve to ask her out. So we're back with Mike. Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's talk about your sex life now. What's going on? Are you employing hookers and hoes? Are you going to massage parlors? Are you hanging out at porn stores? What's going on?
Pretty much nothing. Like first I find porn kind of a turn off because it's more mechanical, and even that there's hardly anything exotic or romantic about it or anything. It's just like if you see porn movies, they're more done disgusting than anything else. And so I guess that's the thing where you were just talking about in your introduction here. I've always had too much respect for women than to just simply pursue them just to get my jollies off and then not even give a damn if they get pregnant or anything, like you see on all these talk shows where they supposedly love the woman, and then the minute they find out she's pregnant, then all of a sudden she's a whore and she's no good and it's not even his baby and all that kind of stuff. And so
So what do you do? Are you having urges? Like, what about the sexual side of Mike?
Well, these days, I mean, sure, I used to like climb up the wall, and so but I guess these days, whether it's because I'm getting old, I'm getting comfortable, or just because there's no like inspiration in my life, I'll sometimes get an urge, and but it's like having a loaded gun. There's nothing to aim at it, and so I just kind of use that energy to do other things, and because right now there's no muse in my life, so it's there's nothing to get excited about, and I mean, thank God everything is still in working order, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not getting psychotic or crazy, and so it's so pretty much nothing's going on,
And like, what is your plan as far as like your love life now? Are you just waiting, because it's been over, you had said in the pre-interview, it's been over 20 years since you've had sex and I guess a relationship. So like, what's the game plan moving forward? I mean, do you have a game plan?
No, not really. If anything, I seeing that too, I'm realistic. I need to work on my career, and I got to focus on that first. And then maybe once that takes off, then I could worry about having a relationship, Like, you can't buy snow tires before you get the car.
Right, okay. And this is maybe what a lot of guys think, or this is how guys maybe operate as far as, like...
Some guys are just a little too itchy, and they'd rather get that taken care of first and not even worry about, the expense of getting someone pregnant or the expense of dating or the expense of marriage, and they're not even thinking about their careers, because they're thinking about their urges first.
Okay, and you look at it as far as like career first, money first, stability with that, and then relationship. So are you looking to get somebody pregnant? Like, do you want to have a family now?
No, not at all. No. I mean, if I met somebody who was nice and she, wanted to get pregnant or married, and then if anything, that would even really boost me into, okay, but I'm going to have to find a job quick, and a good job, I mean, and because I'm not going to bring...
But how old are the people that you would be considering dating? Because you're 55 and like a woman's getting pregnant in her like 20s and like 30s.
That's another reason why it's, that's why, now it's not even going to happen. So it's, but...
Okay. So, I mean, all right. So what is the age of, like, women that you're looking for? Let's start there.
I'm not really, looking at all or any, I mean, to be honest, a lot of women I see in their 50s, I don't find all that attracted to, some of them maybe, and I, and that's the reason why I think you're better to have somebody at an early age, at 20, 30, 40, because when you see older couples, you think, gee, what are they seeing in each other? But, they had a life together. And once you get to the age of being 50 and 55, it's kind of hard to find somebody that's attractive at 50 and 55, unless you had a life together, because then there are things that you've come to love about them, And
okay.
so it's kind of hard to start that off, go ahead. What?
Do you find yourself attractive? Like, do you do things to keep yourself looking good and things like that?
The basics.
And no one knows what you look like. I mean, you're on the radio here, so this is just your opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess there's people out there worse than me, and nobody's a good judge of themselves. I mean, I see the most beautiful women, and they say, "Oh, I look ugly," and I'm thinking, "What are you talking about? Come on!" Unless they're just fishing for compliments. But I try to keep myself up, and that's another thing. Like I said, I could sit on the couch and just veg out and eat pizza and beer and get fat if I wanted, but I don't want to do that because I want to take care of myself too. And so, but at the same time, I don't dress up to impress, and so
So if you had to make predictions for your love life, for your future love life here, what would you say? What would your prediction be?
Oh, I have no idea at all.
What do you think's in store?
It'd really be hard to say it is, because I don't see anything in the future. Like I said, there's nobody that I have in mind for a date or anything else. There's one lady, actually, that I know from Facebook and MySpace. She's nice. She even seems to like me, but she lives all the way out in Arizona. So, it's... So unless I moved or something, that wouldn't happen. But
so have you spoken to her on the phone? Are you pursuing anything there, or you're just saying no, it's not going to happen?
Well, no. She seems to, like I said, she seems to like me, but I'm not going to take any kind of guess like that. And there's nothing to pursue because she's all the way in Arizona and I'm in New York.
Mhm.
So. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of at the part in the interview where I step in here a little bit. I could step in and give some guidance. I am an intuitive heart healer, which means for everybody who is listening, who's new to the show, I have the gift to open and heal your heart so you can attract love. And that means within a few minutes of me talking to somebody, I could pick up either what's blocking them from love and take them through heart healing exercises, or if somebody really has no idea how to attract love, I teach them how to attract love into their life. And this is something that I do privately. It's one-on-one on the phone I do this, or I do it in person. If you're located in New Jersey or New York City, information about this is on my website at loveguru.net. If you click on Heart Healer, you can read more about they're called Intuitive Heart Healing and Love Attracting Sessions. So this is the time where, I'm going to step in and I'm going to share what guidance is coming up for me, what impressions are coming up for me. And before I do that, I'd like to just hear from you as far as okay, you have the Love Guru on the line. What would you like to ask me? What do you need help with? What do you see as the issue or the frustration?
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh, I thought maybe you were asking other listeners. So,
right. I'm back to you.
Yeah.
You're the star today.
Yeah. What was the question?
The question is, how can I help you? I have lots of thoughts that are coming to mind, and I'm getting lots of impressions, but I want to be able to focus on what you would like to focus on. We have 15 minutes or so.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Maybe building my self-esteem or attractiveness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that what comes up a lot is self-esteem, confidence issues.
Yeah, confidence.
And it's a thing that this stemmed from a really young age. That, you really had no one there to support you or to teach you how to go about this game of love. You talk about this picture of hey, coach, put me in the game.
Yeah.
But really, the way that life works and the way that love works is that you're the one who puts yourself in the game. No one is in control of that. And from hearing your story, it's one account after the next that you really haven't put yourself in the game. So, this is a really good, and I'm grateful for you being on the air and sharing your story, and I think it takes a lot of courage and strength to do that because there are a lot of people out there in very either the same situation or very similar situations, and they wouldn't openly share it because for whatever reasons. But, you did do that, and I think that is, number one, something really to be proud of yourself, that you're brave and you're honest. And those are two things for you to count towards building your self-esteem. I'm brave, I have courage, I'm honest, I share the truth. These are all wonderful traits that you really shouldn't discount, which I feel like maybe you would. So if you do have a notepad, every time I interview somebody, I always tell them, or when I have a healing session, and here, you're kind of everyone's experiencing a little mini one, but I always tell everybody, bring a notepad, bring a pen. So I'm assuming you have this by you, and write these things down, or listen to the interview again, and that things you should be proud of, or places to start, is that you're courageous, that you're brave, that you're honest, that you share the truth.
And I'm aware of those things already, and in a way that's what kind of hurts, that according to whenever I hear somebody talking about the qualities they look for in a person, and then it seems like they're looking for the exact opposite, because they'll say, I want somebody who's honest, that's fun and witty and makes me laugh, and then all they're really looking for, not that if they are, is somebody who is going to get angry at them and kill a cat, and so, but, and
yeah,
so
but
that
let's
gets
forget
frustrating.
about that. I think that, you're already pretty much out of the dating game. You've been out of it for a while. So I think the idea for you would be really to take a break from hearing other people's love stories, from reading the newspaper, from, it sounds like you definitely pick up a lot in the news as far as like love situations or TV shows, like the craziness of, this mother, like father, whatever, it's mama's father's mother, whatever, with the babies and who's the real father, that whole paternity thing going on. So, really stop watching those shows and stop reading those stories. And, you're not dating, so you have an opportunity to really focus on yourself, but you really need to be finding things that you like about yourself. And, this is very similar to like the guidance that I was giving, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, to the cross-dressing guy. That was for everybody listening, the episode. But to really focus on the things that you appreciate and you like about yourself. And I feel like you're more in touch with this than you're aware of. But what you need to do is really to make a list of what it is, and you need to keep this list out and constantly be reading over it so it's confirming on how great you are. Because it doesn't come across so much as far as that you think that you're a good catch, or that you think you're attractive, or that you have things to offer somebody. Those things don't really come across.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I'm having like the switchboard here is acting all funny again.
Oh, I hear you fine. I don't even hear anything.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to just assume that we're still on air here. But, okay, it's back now. All right, so that's number one. The other thing is, like, let's talk about this, like, being put in the game, that whole comment. Like, put me in the game, coach. So I really feel like you need to be making an effort to be putting yourself out there. And this woman who is in another state, that is a perfect place to start. It's a safe opportunity because, hey, she doesn't live in your area. Doesn't mean something can't come about from it. This is all kind of negative, faulty thinking of like, hey, I'm not even going to go after someone because of this, that, or the other. We make excuses, and you're not the only person who does this. There's plenty of people that do this to varying degrees. But if you think this woman is interested, then you need to start kind of fishing in that direction, which basically means start sending her some flirty emails, or ask her for her number and tell her you'll call her. Take certain steps to show your interest. And let's stop there for a minute, because I want to be here to support you, and I feel like maybe there's a question or an uncertainty as far as how exactly do I do that? Do you know how to put yourself out there? Because I know, you told a story from way back when that it took you like 2 years to tell someone that you were interested.
Yeah.
So do you know, like, what would be the next step with this lady?
I don't know. And to be honest, you even just saying all that right now just scared the shit out of me.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, because that means now you're aware.
Where now it's like, anytime there is some kind of feeling like that, or I panic, and so. And
what is? Let's explore that for a little bit here. Like, what is the fear there? What is the panic? Why does that scare you?
Getting hurt again,
And
so.
Okay,
yeah.
And by just asking her for her, by emailing her a little bit more of like, hey, I'm interested, or like, let's have your number, let's chat on the phone. Just kind of said casually, like that makes you very nervous to put yourself out there just like that?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure she would give it to me, and so it's not even a matter of, like worrying that she wouldn't do it.
So what could you do to help yourself get over that fear?
I don't know.
Think of something. How could you make yourself feel more confident or more protected, more loved, that this woman, no matter, see, the idea is that you want to be building yourself up, your self-esteem up,
yeah,
so much that, and loving yourself so much that no matter what happens to you out there, and this is for everybody, this is so good to hear. A lot of times we're like very afraid of somebody hurting us, of putting ourselves out there, of someone rejecting us, this and that. The ideal place to be is that you love yourself so much, you're giving yourself so much love that you don't need to get it from another source, meaning that you don't get love, you don't get happiness from another source. It comes 100% from you. That's where a healthy whole individual, that's what a healthy whole individual looks like. That I am 100% taking care of my needs, my love for myself, whatever, that even though I might put myself out there and you might say, no, I don't like you or whatever, that you could detach from that and say, hey, you know what, like, okay, that's going to hurt a little bit if you really like somebody, but to be able to fill yourself up with that love, that you're not feeling like devastated by it.
Yeah. Well, in a way, I'm kind of like that now. Like I said, I'm comfortable in my own skin, and even in my situation. And, even there was another relationship that I didn't get into. It was kind of the same thing at a job where I liked somebody and I didn't even know it. I wasn't even pursuing her, and it turned out to be a big mess because there were people there that just didn't like me, and they kind of turned her sour against me. And, and that was like 10 years ago, and that hurt a lot. And, but I realized even from that because I loved her, it wasn't anything great that she did. It was because it was in me. I had the capability of loving in me, and it had nothing to do with her at all.
Right, but like what's happening is you're going from these situations that are just like, one date or no dates or just putting yourself out there, and it's such a scary factor that these scars are staying with you through the years because you're not really taking care of yourself and and building up your self-esteem. I mean, it is our job to build up our self-esteem. And one way that I gave you to do this is to make a list of the things that you like about yourself, that you think are good qualities, that you love about yourself. And I would say for you to be making a list of 20. And I think that that's going to be a little hard for you. I gave you 4 today. So I think if you could start with 10, listen to the archive, write it down again. If you could start with 10, I would be proud of myself. And then once you get to 10, say, hey, Blaire's pushing me to get 20. And then you're going to carry this list with you, and you're going to read it in the morning, you're going to read it in the night, you're going to read it out loud to yourself, and you're going to really take it in, because I don't feel that you are really appreciating these things about yourself, or that you really see them as worthwhile or substantial or whatever.
Yeah, I think I could come up with 20. I've been on Facebook for a while. You know, everything's a list of 20 things. So
okay, so make a list of 20 things that you like about yourself. But listen,
and then
I don't want you sharing. Listen, here's something this is very key that is coming up. Don't share it with anybody.
Oh,
this is
you
not
think
to be
that's
posted
another
on.
problem I have is I keep no secrets.
It's not a problem, but for this thing, it's very important that you do this and you keep sacred that it is just for your eyes. This is an exercise that you are doing to build your self-esteem. I'm really serious about this, and this is like the guidance that's coming through that's really serious. Yeah. You need to be keeping this quiet to yourself, and for you to be taking this project, again, the word keeps on coming, really serious, for you to be taking this project really serious. Because as far as like you moving forward, I mean, the past does not dictate our future, but if we're in a pattern and we don't have a plan as far as how are we going to move forward, then you're going to keep on repeating the past. And you've been over 20 years without a relationship, a love relationship, and that's going to continue. You know, I asked you, you know, what's your plan for moving forward? And it's like, well, no plan. Well, for over 20 years you've had no plan, which has really been the same plan, and you've been, you know, look where you are now, and you're 55. And you know what, and I'm telling you this just to be honest with you and to just really in a form of helping you, because if things don't change now, then you're going to have a repeat of what happened over the last years. Unless, I mean, anything can happen unless a woman comes in, she's totally 100% smitten by you, and she wants to wine and dine and win you over and help you through all your fears, and she's going to really take the lead. Now, there's women out there like that. Anything's possible. We're living in an abundant universe, and things like that can happen. But I am a fan of being empowered in your love life, and that means that you need to be having a plan moving forward as far as how am I going to make my love life happen. And the universe will support you along the way, but you need to be doing something, and it's something different than what you're doing today.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
So we have like 2 minutes left. I just want to make a couple of short announcements here, and if we have time, I'm going to hop back to you. I want to give my website again. It's loveguru.net. If you haven't signed up yet, go there. When you sign up for the newsletter, you get a free audio and exercise, the best-kept secret to attracting the one. And that's going to get you on the path to attracting love into your life. So that's at loveguru.net. I want to remind you to favorite the show on Blog Talk Radio. That'll remind you of the show each week and the show topic. And then next week, I already told you what that show is. It's the woman behind a man in the spotlight. So tune in at 2 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. So we have a few, like 30 seconds or so left. I'm going to come back to you, Mike. And yeah, so, I mean, is there any question that's coming up? I mean, you have a game plan now. You have this list to make. And you also have you need to reach out to this woman. You need to step out of your safety zone. You're very comfortable right now. So you need to step out. Fear is a good feeling. The nervousness is a good feeling. This means you're growing. This is true growth. True growth is not sitting doing the same pattern, the same routine every day. That is not growth.
Yeah, that's true.
So for you, you need it's a safe. You know, here's how Spirit's helping you. Spirit gave you this woman who likes you, who's many, many miles away. So really, the fear is so false because it's really safe because she's not anywhere near you right at this moment that you could actually go out on a date with her.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to have to end the show, but I wanted to thank you very much for sharing your story, and I wanted to send you lots of love and blessings.
Okay.
And keep me posted, please, on what's going on with you, okay?
All right, yeah.
And for everybody else, until next week, I wish you the best in love. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Love Life Heart Confessions with intuitive heart healer, the love guru, Blaire Allison. Blaire can be found on the web at loveguru.net and datingtipsfordudes.com. You can also connect with Blaire on Facebook and Twitter. See you there.